Very good morning to one and all present here. I am Dr. S. Akila of Sri Krishna Arts and Science College from Commerce BPS and BI department. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic called organizational behavior. So, organization is a combination of two different words. One is organization and the other one is behavior. It has many implications to it. In a nutshell, I had to tell you just for an introduction purpose. It is basically how people behave in an organization. Why do they behave like that? And how do we control, predict, and influence their behavior? So, first, let me tell you what are we going to cover in this particular session. So here the session objectives would be: what is an organization? What are the basic functions? Who are the people who are going to manage these organizations and conduct the basic organizational functions? And what are the typical skills that people need in order to run an organization smoothly? So these are the 4 to 5 key points which we are going to dig in this particular session. So let me take you one by one. And now first we start with what is an organization, right? So I'm sure you must have seen so many different types of organizations, or you may be calling them as companies in the day-to-day language. There are organizations which have at least two or more people who come together, work together to achieve a predetermined or a pre-agreed goal. It is important that people should come together and they should determine in advance what are their goals. Every company, every organization will have certain goals to achieve. Now, it might comprise of two different levels of goals. When a company starts functioning, it has one particular goal or multiple goals that it tries to achieve. Similarly, the employees. So when it start works, it has to work with people who are called as employees, right? So who are individuals who will have their own independent goals. So like for example, if you want to start working in an organization, some of you may want to earn a lot of money. Some of you may want to work with a particular brand, a feel good brand, to feel good about it. Some of you may want to travel to different places. Depending upon what are your personal ambitions, personal goals, you are going to join a particular company, right? Similarly, any company, as you know, they will also identify the people who will match that is, they'll try to match the requirements based on the skills required to fulfill their particular goals. So that the goals that an organization has are called as superordinate goals. Those goals are important for any organization to be fulfilled, to be sustainable, to remain in the business for a long period of time. Whereas the people who come and work with them, they have their own goals, right? So in terms of levels, the organizational goals will be known as superordinate goals, whereas the individual's goals, that is the employees goals who work there, that will be called as subordinate goals. Hope I've made it clear. So we must remember that as long as the subordinate goals are in line with the superordinate goals, the organization will continue to have the person or the employee. As long as the subordinate goals are in line with superordinate goals, the person would also like to be in the company and work in the long term. So we have to understand that organization will develop over a period of time. Any small company that you know, maybe your friend might have started, or you might have started an enterprise. You may have started it in a very small manner, maybe with just 2 people or 3 people. Some of your friends may get together and start a business, etc. So over a period of time, the organizational will grow. Will grow means in terms of business, in terms of reach, in terms of number of people, services, products, or even in the location, etc. And it will become gradually bigger. As it becomes bigger and different in size and business, there will be many more changes that will keep coming into your business. Now, when we say an organization of a company, What do we mean? Organization have different types of products, any items that you use. Let's say your day-to-day items like toothpaste, pen, pencil, clothing, shoes, food items, anything that you call as a product. Whereas there are other things that you use like, for example, you're booking a taxi, or you're booking a holiday, or your book a mobile plan with internet plans. Those are not products, but those are called as services actually. So companies will be manufacturing or offering services, but overall companies have distinct clear goals which have people with independent goals. They all come together, work together, where the company fulfills the individual's goals as well as and the individual fulfills the company's goal. So this is how both are mutually, that is the company as well as individuals are mutually interdependent. So this is how a company has been formed. So if I have to talk about certain elements of an organization, each organization will have a distinct purpose. The goal that we're talking about here. Each organization is composed of people who are called employees of that organization. All organizations develop some deliberate structure of managers and non-managers. So, deliberate structure means that when they start functioning, initially when there are few people, everybody does everything. But over a period of time, when the work specializes, then it requires different people to take different types of responsibilities. When the work further increases, then there are managers who do that. There are non-managers who do the other kind of repetitive works as well. So if I have to define the organization, it is basically a deliberate arrangement of people to accomplish some specific purposes through a set of organizational or management activities. I hope we have covered whatever the organization has in different ways, and then we have come up with a similar definition here. So let us look at what is management now. So, management is understood by process of coordinating work activities so that they are completely efficiently and effectively with and through people. So now if you look at this definition, there are two different elements in the same definition that explains what a management actually is. So the first important element in management is process. Process basically means a step-by-step activity, one step following the other, and then the next step and the next step. Only if you follow that particular process of step-by-step activities, you will be able to reach your desired goal. So the first element in the management process is process-oriented. Management is a process-oriented activity. So next is coordinating. Coordinating distinguishes a managerial position from a non-managerial one. There are managerial and non-managerial activities. When there are several functions in an organization, manager will have to be coordinating the different types of functions, different types of activities that are happening there. So next element that we're going to discuss, and the most important element in management, I should say, is efficiency. Efficiency is understood as getting the most output from the least amount of input. Doing things efficiently means that you use the minimum possible resources to achieve maximum possible outputs, or even we can call it as results. Now, if an efficiency means doing the things in the right manner, the more mistakes you make, the more losses you incur. So, in order to reduce the losses, definitely you should do the things correctly, right? So it is important to do something in the correct manner and making the least amount of mistakes. For that, the basic planning is required. Next element that we said in the definition is effectiveness. Effectiveness is not just important to do it means completing activities so that organizational goals are attained. So it is not just important to do the things in the correct manner, but it is extremely important to do the right things at the right time in the right manner. I'm sure you must have heard about this. So effectiveness is understood by completing activities so that organizational goals are attained through doing the right things concerned with the ends. So the management process is not just doing the things in right manner, it is also about doing the right things in the right fashion. That is now the manage that is how the management process is defined. So next we are going to look at the most important elements of management in a nutshell, where the first concept is about efficiency and the effectiveness. So efficiency is considered as a means to achieve the end, that is the effectiveness. So how the efficiency could be achieved through maximum utilization of resources, thus reducing the wastage. Similarly, if you are able to achieve maximum utilization of the resources, the end, that is the end, will be the good effective management of your business. So you will be able to attain the high, that is a percentage of attainment of goal will be very high. So what does a management strive for? A management strives for low resource wastage through high efficiency and high goal attainment through high effectiveness. So low resource wastage and high goal attainment are the two important elements that talks about the efficiency and effectiveness of an organization. So this is understood as a management activity or the process. Now we will move on to the different types of managers. So here in this particular screen, you can see the hierarchy or the organizational levels that you could find in a pyramid. So here the managers are of different types. If you look at this picture, it looks like a pyramid. The bottom of the pyramid is much wider than the rest of them. They are the non-managerial employees who are non-managers. Then you have the first line managers, people who have least experience but who come under the category of managers. First line managers are those managers who, just give me a minute, yeah. First line managers are those managers who actually supervises, controls and directs the non-managerial employees. Then comes the first line managers who controls the first, then comes the middle managers who controls the first line managers. Middle managers are those who with less experience than the top managers. So middle managers are less experienced than top managers who controls the first line managers directly and the non-managerial employees indirectly. Right on the top, you can find the top managers who are called as the senior managers. Within the top managers, there are various subsections in the top managers as well. They are further divided into different divisions like MD, CEO, and even in middle managers, you can find different categories of managers like manager, deputy manager, senior manager, etc. So even in each level, the basic levels of managers are these four, like top managers, middle, first line, and non-managerial. But within them, they have different various subdivisions, like as I've told you, senior manager, deputy manager, and maybe we can call it them as team leaders in some cases, SMEs like subject matter experts. So they also come under different subsections of the managers. So I hope today I have made you clear about what is an organizational behavior, who actually manages that, and what are the basic elements that is involved in the management process, and what are the different levels of organizations as well. So I hope I've made it clear, like whatever we have learned in this particular session. So I'll be meeting you in further topics of organizational behavior in the upcoming videos. So thank you all for the cooperation.